Hey guys, and welcome back to another review. Now, I said I would do these more regular. This is I hope you guys see this as a sign of a more regular pattern. I hope so, because, there's nothing worse than procrastination or saying you're going to do something and then don't do it. That's a bugbear of mine, and I seem to have got myself into the habit. So, this is a great way to start off a series of reviews. Obviously, my last one being on the Batman Batcape and boots, but this one being on the legendary S-Man himself. No, I'm not talking about Superman. I am talking about Star-Lord. The legendary outlaw, or Star Prince. What most would class in the D&D world as your outer space rogue bard, multi-class. But Chris Pratt plays him pretty well. Slightly different to what the comics used to have him as. But all in all, I think he brings an entertaining sort of atmosphere to the role. I personally enjoyed the Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. The second one, a little bit as well. I still haven't watched the Christmas episode special yet. And I know people are watching this are probably thinking, well, why have you bought a Star-Lord costume if you've not watched all of his media? The reason why I haven't is because I didn't get to go watch it over Christmas period. I'm kind of going to watch it over this one because it'll probably have a little bit more gravity over having watched the third, volume 3. Saying that, I might just break that rule anyway and just watch it just before this film, so there's some context, no doubt, to it. But what I wanted to do today was just go through what you can get back from the money you invest with Leather Fashion Valley's costumes, being this one of the Star-Lord costume. For me, there's a multitude of things to cover. One of them I will slightly topically cover now, which is overall great service. From giving my measurements, handing over payment, discussing a few details here and there, it came out to me really, really quick, and I couldn't ask for a better service. Probably one of the best vendors out there. I've had great customer service every time I've dealt with them, and there's absolute I'm going to be sending a lot of my business going there forward in the future. So before I make words too cheap, I do want to go through this review with you guys and just show you the quality behind it. So strap yourselves in, and yeah, let's go. So probably one of the biggest bugbears for any costume is the getting into it. Is that effectively how easy is this costume to get in? Now, where I'm somewhat blessed because I'm usually surrounded by people, or my partner comes with me on a regular basis to cons or events. So fitting in the costume or getting the costume on isn't necessarily an issue. And as you can see behind me, costumes look fantastic. But if you've got a strap slipped or a buckle undone or a zip undone, you see the photos back and you go, wow, that would have looked amazing had that not happened or had I put that on properly. So biggest concern for everyone is how easy is this? Now, I found it relatively easy. I found the zips in really convenient places. I managed to get one down the front of the vest. One attaches to the trousers, which is great because having a one piece like that, very similar to how the Captain America suits are worked, makes it so much comfortable for me to make, proper movement, be able to dance off, bro, and pretty much just feel the freedom a little bit more without the scarcity of, oh, my trousers are falling down, or oh, my trousers are pulled away from the jacket. So there is that aspect there that helps out massively. The ankle zips as well, they're fantastically convenient because that makes things so much easier for getting your feet in, especially if you're in a bit of a rush. Nothing worse than getting your foot stuck in a trouser leg, really rushing, and you pull it and you rip something. So, these are really convenient places to really have these on. Overall time of putting the suit on, it can take me, I think it was about 10 minutes earlier on when I first tried it on. And that was just working out how bits went on. That was just seeing what needs work on it as well. If there's any alterations that need to be made, things like that. Just an overall feel, but ultimately it was just far easier than some of the costumes I've put on. I can name several off the top of my head. One of them being Batsy, Assassin's Creed behind me. That can be a bit of a pain. There's several ones, but Leather Fashion Valley, to their credit, again, knockout out of a costume. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that praises their costumes here for comfortability and, you know, accessibility and getting into the costume and out of the costume. But yeah, this one was relatively, I could get on with ease. If I was at a convention on my own, I wouldn't have any worries at all because I could literally slip it on. I could wear the vest, the under jacket that goes under the vest and the trousers traveling to a convention or an event because they're really comfy. To be honest with you, they're very breathable, which was one thing I was a little bit worried because I will be wearing this for a cinema event. And there's nothing worse than being in a very hot environment in a non-breathing costume. There is elements, obviously, it is made of leather, but it is a stretch type fabric that fully breathable, so that helps out handily. So, to be honest with you, overall, I would probably rate the getting in and out of the costume at a 10 because that's the most important thing. Can you get in and out of the costume on your own? Could you do it in a cubicle in a bathroom? Probably. So, by all means, guys, comfortability, getting into it, you ain't gonna worry. Now we talk about the boot spats. Most people think this is not the most exciting topic. Somehow I get excited about it, but then again, I get excited about every little stitch, every little detail that's on a costume. Just because there's intricacies, there's details that take note. You know, the boot spats, the Batman ones I got from Leather Fashion Valley were spot on. I really like them. And, you know, these are just, you know, you've got to admit that there's just absolute quality gone into it. It's comfy. I love the leather. Absolutely love the leather. And I love me a good bit of leather. That sounded really weird. It's fine. I'm moving on. But yeah, there's even a part of suede on the actual parting of the main section to the ankle over the top boot section. So these are fantastic. The details on them, they're really easy to get into. You know, a side zip, Velcro. That's the main thing you really want from your costume as well, is to be able to get into it, for it to look the part, for it to feel the part. They are very similar to the Captain America boot spats. I would say they're probably made a little bit better in some regards because it's so much easier. I don't have to mess about with clipping on the buckles, you know, popping them through. And maybe the Captain America ones could learn a thing or two from that. Maybe instead of having to do it with the buckle, you just have Velcro that clips on. I know that was a nightmare for me when I was putting on cap spats on before, so these were just a breath of fresh air. Really fantastic. And again, the detail they try to capture very close to the set photos and what's been revealed. So one thing about the costume is obviously there will be drawbacks in certain areas because what limited information, what limited pictures were at the time, media, everything out there. So, and they've done a fantastic job, and I'm really happy with the boot spats. I'm really excited to show the rest of it off, obviously, and wear it very shortly soon. The vest. What? You can see it right behind me. Just right there. The vest. It just looks, you know. I keep looking on the screen, not into the camera. I can see it on my imagery there. And it's amazing. Just the simplistic of details that are captured from what's been shown by James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Just the details and try and match it there. You can see straight away. I really like the colour as well. The colour of the suit looks really, really well. This again goes back to how to put the suit on. Really comfortable and easy to put on. There's a under zip that is on the front of the jacket, which is very weird because I'm used to the cap ones being right at the back, so it's a nice breath of fresh air. I am not by any means complaining. I think it's a brilliant idea to have it at the front. So no complaints from me whatsoever. The Velcro at the section of the lapel area, that's a fantastic location for Velcro. Just overall, the detail and quality that's gone into it. Obviously, again, like I mentioned in the boot spec section, there'll be elements of detail that might not be in line with what the suit looks like, purely based on what was available at the time. However, when you look at that, it's not a million miles away, and it's a fantastic end result for the price you pay. For me personally, I could sit in this thing all night for about 3 or 4 hours and I'd be really comfy, but, you know, I'm not going to do that because then I potentially could sweat and make the costume smell before I get to the event. We ain't going to go down that road. No way. Legendary Outlaw has to smell of Lynx and not BO. But yeah, the quality itself, the fabric that's used, the stretch quality fabric is fantastic. I think the colour's really, really nice. And I saw the option of the screen printed one, and I saw this one, and I wanted a bit more stretch, a bit more feel for it. That's not to say anything. I think the screen printed one looks amazing. But I love the colour of this one as well. So by all means, you've got two options there for them. But again, just you know, I keep looking back, obviously, while the video montages go over the top, and I recognize what a beautiful suit this is. And I'm only in the second part of what I wanted to talk about of the suit, so you know, we've got some time to go through this. So this one's a bit of a simple one. The belt itself, it's not highly detailed on the pictures that have been shown on the set photos, and for what you can really see of the trailers and that. There isn't a huge amount of detail to go into it. I think there's maybe a slight buckle detail, but that's nothing to be worried about, really. That's something I'm probably going to sort it myself. Either I'll print the buckle or I'll build one from scratch. Probably build a bit easier. But yeah, it's relatively small detail. And overall, it's just one of those that it's very hard to capture, based again on the set photos there. But again, really easy to put on. Velcro strap at the back. It goes around adjustments slightly to make sure it's in level where it needs to be. I'm probably going to replicate a little bit like Chris Pratt's, is have a Velcro square at the front of my costume, just to make sure that, you know, it sits where it's supposed to sit. And doesn't cause any issues there for me. But personally, I just think it's a really simplistic detail, but it really breaks the suit really nicely. And honestly, you know, the shape of it as well, it's pretty bang on. So all in all, I really liked it. I really like what they've given. Obviously, moderations will be happening, but you can't go wrong with a good belt, and you've got a good belt with this. The gloves. I mean, Star-Lord isn't Star-Lord without a good set of gloves. These things, honestly, these bad boys are, of all the details, I really like them. I really, really like them. They're so comfy. They are absolutely easy to get on. And if you compare these gloves to the ones on screen or the pictures you may see, they're pretty bang on. Even to like the knuckle bits that go on it. I was really, really surprised when they came through, just how amazing they were. And again, it sounds like I'm really getting excited over a really small detail. But gloves, I mean, you'd be surprised how many people get their gloves wrong on some costumes. And for me, I notice it from a far off distance. But, you know, they really have captured it. And the inside of it's made of a suede leather. Really nice, the suede is. It's just the stitching quality that's gone into it. Just a love and attention into it. And bearing in mind, these guys will get a lot of costumes pumped out to people. They will try and get them out within a time frame desirable for the buyer, obviously. So to say what the level of work they have on their schedules, they still put love and effort into these things, and that's what really, really matters about these things. And for me personally, you know, I really love these gloves. They're comfy as well on my hands, and the fingerless, which makes going on my phone so much more easier. The most important thing when you're at events: can I get access to my phone to take a picture of myself and look incredibly vain? Yes, you can. Star-Lord, Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn, the costume designers involved on the Volume 3. Excellent choice again for going fingerless gloves. I know you did it with Volume 2. Volume 1, not so much, but Volume 2, thank you for that. It made it easy. I can operate my Zoom. What better way? I've just seen from each costume bit of breakdown. The montage is obviously shared with yourself. There is an overall, just an increasing quality every time they bring out a new product at Leather Fashion Valley. And whether you see it on their Instagram, on their Facebook, on the website, there is absolute, just incredible work and detail that's gone into these costumes. They're comfy. I can move around really easily in them. They're lightweight, which of course helps for, you know, trying to sustain a full day at con or an event. But overall, the quality of service, I message them, I get a response. I don't have to chase that much. I say that much, I've never had to chase at all. And I've had to do that with other vendors. And overall, the quality, you know, the amount I paid for the suit and what I got is incredible. And you can spend a little amount and get very little back, or you can invest a decent amount and get a lot back, which is, again, the Star-Lord outfit. General turnaround for these things take up to about 3 or so weeks. Sometimes a bit more, depending, obviously, the intricacies of what you're after the costume-wise. But this, turnaround time really, really quickly for me. I couldn't really complain at all. I can't complain. If anything, I'm trying to push you in the direction of them, because if you're out there and you're looking for a costume and you've got custom measurements, or you've got custom needs or details or designs, tap them up by all means. I've got several projects I've got wanting to complete this year, which, to be honest with you, I've had that stage where I've gone, hang on a minute, do I want to go here or do I want to go there? Where do I want to go? And Love of Fashion Valley has become a strong contender, if not the contender now, to go to a lot of these projects for. So, and of course, the montage will show you, of course, just the quality you can expect from them. They're easy to contact through Facebook. Generally, that's where I contact them through most of the time. I contact them through Instagram as well if I need to be. Share them quite often. The website is really helpful. It has sizing guides. It has costumes that that they've got available. But by all means, check their social medias, because not all of the costumes I've noticed that have been shared on there are necessarily on the website. And they also show off a lot of cosplayers as well, and costumers that are wearing their gear. So you can see what it looks like on those guys as well. So by all means, I would pepper them with messages asking what you're after, what you're looking for. Just they will answer. They're really, really accommodating that way, and I can't praise them enough. One thing I will say going forward, I will plan my list of costumes that I want to do, and probably fire them a huge list with a load of pictures sometime soon. I'm really strongly contending doing the whole Thor Love and Thunder costume through those guys. Even though I will be mounting 3D printed armor onto it, I still think it'd be great to have them as the base, because of course they spend the time on this quality. It's just fantastic quality. Get that from every vendor, you'd be happy. But why get it from every vendor when you can get it from Love of Fashion Valley? So guys, I hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. Please, by all means, check out my other reviews, check out my podcast chats. There will be a lot more content coming to the channel now. It's one of my biggest missions this year. I'm trying to get the studio sort of office space sorted out, rather than it being a cluster of stuff in the background too much. But that will be a project that's happening in the next 6 months anyway. And just to let you know, this Friday on the 28th of April, because we're now on the 25th technically, I will be streaming live on my Twitch channel, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It'll also be going to YouTube as well, so you guys can check it out on all those platforms there. Don't forget to check out my other platforms, my Facebook and my social media aspect of Instagram as well. And hopefully catch you guys in the next video. Take care now. Bye.